Hello everyone. To begin with, I'm grateful to the organizers of this summit for this wonderful opportunity to present our research paper. My name is Thamer Cherni, researcher at Languages and Engineering Education at Esprit, School of Engineering, Tunisia. On behalf of my co-author Badruddin Cherni, EFL instructor, I would like to present you our research paper entitled EFL Future Engineers Language Anxiety, Performing Classroom Final Project Presentations and Oral Examinations. First, let's have a look at the outline of our talk today. We start with the problem statement. After, I will present the research questions. Methodology should be next. Following this, the key findings, 5 implications, and we finish with research limitations. For the problem statement, our second-year students studying English as a foreign language undergo different methods of evaluations. One major method of evaluation is oral presentations. In fact, our second-year students are encouraged to give 15-minute presentations after 6 weeks of collaborative work. Another important method of evaluation is the final B2 level oral assessment. Successful students receive a B2 level certificate, but this does not mean they are dismissed from the coming English language modules during their engineering cycle. During these all evaluations, we spotted that second-year students are always acting differently when it comes to performing. For example, holding papers to memorize notes, rehearsing in corridors, bouncing in front of me, not finishing a thought. Other researchers mentioned other traits like headaches, cold fingers, and sweating. Although our students are familiar with the presentation tasks since their first weeks, why do they look awkward whenever asked to perform orally? Why sophomore students are poor communicators and hesitant to speak? They even prefer to use their mother tongue Arabic and prefer not to attend oral presentation sessions to receive an F grade instead. In other words, there should be a link between foreign language anxiety and performing orally. This research study has to investigate future engineers speaking anxiety while performing classroom final project presentations and oral B2 level examinations. It aims to understand the roles and causes regarding foreign language anxiety in mastering oral skills. In a nutshell, this study seeks to address the following questions. What levels, factors, and causes of foreign language anxiety among EFL future engineers students when presenting publicly or sitting for an oral B2 level examination. Let's move to the methodology of this research paper. This study used convenience sample of 129 second-year electromechanical and civil engineering students. These participants are studying the language module in their first semester. They are invited to complete 2 pre-task questionnaires. While the pre-task presentation questionnaire was responded by around 70 participants, the B2 level oral exam questionnaire was answered by 60 participants. The total invited number of students to take each questionnaire was 157 participants. All the participants are sophomore male and female students who have already studied 42-hour English language modules as freshman students. The participants' English proficiency levels range from A2 to B2 according to the Common European Framework references. Now we move to the instruments. 2 questionnaires and observation method were utilized so that the researchers can gather enough information while asking the same kind of questions concerning 2 final oral performance tasks. First, questionnaires were used to collect data. These questionnaires were designed in both Arabic and French. Arabic is the mother tongue of the students, and French is their second language to ease the task of answering. Second, classroom observations. As you can see, we use 2 types of observations, incidental and planned observations. Both types helped in taking notes of the participants' anxious behavior in both oral performance tasks. The key findings should be next. The first finding indicates that the second-year students at Esprit experienced moderate foreign language levels in both final oral performance exams. However, it should be noted that the participants scored slightly higher rates of foreign language anxiety in the B2 level oral examination more than on the mini project presentations. This slightly difference is due to the importance given to the B2 level exam. Please remember, students are taking this exam for the first time in the engineering cycle, as opposed to classroom presentations which they are familiar with. This study revealed also several psychological factors. These factors leading second-year students to feel anxious during final oral performances. These foreign language anxiety factors vary from moderate to high levels, and they can be classified in two major categories. We found in this study 6 moderate foreign language anxiety factors. For the audience attention, this moderate finding can be explained by the familiarity of our students with giving presentations or discussing topics in front of their instructor or peers. The second factor leading to foreign language anxiety is the number of all assessments, because our students are getting more and more familiar with this task since the beginning of their engineering cycle. The preparation time factor is our third moderate factor in this study. Our students felt anxious when preparing for both oral performances because they are not prepared enough for such types of oral assessments due to the shortage of time, which is personal and they are responsible for, of course. The presenter order is our fourth moderate factor. Our observations indicate that the second-year students are not generally willing to start first or to be first in group because they want to hear about their peers' experiences prior to performing. The instructor's grading factor is still another moderate factor leading to foreign language anxiety, because they are familiar with the instructor and the grading system during normal class sessions. 5. Making mistakes. This moderate factor prevents our students from expressing themselves in the target language. This study also revealed 2 specific high foreign language anxiety factors as experienced by second-year students. One major factor specific to mini project presentations is the instructor's feedback upon finishing this performance task. Number 7. Participants experienced high levels because they are afraid from final questions to which they have no answer, or simply because they did not prepare the answer to answer them in advance, if you want. Number 8, the B2 exam factor. This high anxiety level is expected because the students never took such an oral B2 exam before. The third finding in this study revealed several psychological causes producing anxious second-year students during final oral performances. These foreign language anxiety causes vary from moderate to high levels, and they can be classified in 2 major categories. One moderate cause to foreign language anxiety, as reported by second-year students, is the perception on the target exam. The participants experience such an anxious feeling because they keep thinking that their feelings are controllable during these oral performance exams. Another important cause to foreign language anxiety, as reported by second-year students, is personal self-esteem. They scored moderate levels because they do not feel at ease and relaxed during oral performances. The third cause is lack of self-confidence. The participants scored moderate foreign language levels because they fear from being under the limelight while performing. The fear of making mistakes is another cause to foreign language anxiety, as reported by participants during final evaluations. This cause prevents students from finishing their true thoughts during all performances. This study also revealed 2 specific high foreign language anxiety causes as experienced by second-year students. First, The fear of failure. One major cause behind such personal feeling is the consequences of failure, because falling makes our students feel deep shame inside in front of the instructors, peers, and parents, of course. Second, the lack of proficiency in the B2 level exam as reported by the participants, number 6. This causes students to feel highly anxious during the B2 oral exam because they lack experience on how to present and defend a point of view in front of their critical audience, of course, the teacher. Now we move to the implications. The findings of this investigation complement those of earlier studies about foreign language anxiety. In fact, these findings have significant implications for the understanding of how this complicated psychological field of language acquisition works by tracing some of its anxiety signs to reduce foreign language anxiety levels for better foreign language acquisition. These methodological contributions concern not only teachers, educators, and curriculum designers, but also learners too. Learners learn how to become active and less anxious, practicing the target language and speaking their minds publicly without fear of failure or lack of self-confidence, which represents one major step toward the willingness to speak and act the target language orally. For the limitations of this research study, this study was restricted by the absence of valuable insights into foreign language anxiety levels from the instructor's perspective. In fact, foreign language instructors play a major role in this process, and this study missed collecting some interviews with them, or at least asking them to take questionnaires where they can express their feelings, whether they are anxious or not teaching foreign languages. Moreover, this study was also restricted by the absence of other variables to foreign language anxiety, such as gender, culture, social background of learner, the instructor's attitudes, etc. These variables play a major role in raising or lowering foreign language anxiety levels to complete mastery of the target language. Finally, applying these results to all Tunisian undergraduate students studying English as a foreign language is subject to certain limitations, of course. For instance, the teaching approach at Esprit School of Engineering differs from that of Tunisian public engineering schools. In short, this dissertation presents some significances and limitations that could be the subject of other research works, of course. In conclusion, this study findings can inspire policymakers, curriculum designers, and instructors, providing enough methodological solutions to assist foreign language learners overcoming their foreign language anxiety for better acquisition of the target language. Take the example of encouraging the teaching of English as a foreign language since an early age, because it's the perfect solution to fulfill a native-like proficiency level in the target language. So let's act so quickly for less anxious foreign language speakers globally. Thank you so much for your attention. Any questions, please?